going on in Canada. Those wildfires. Even lost a pilot, helicopter pilot. I've been told on my previous video by, somebody commented. Sad. Lives get lost. People get killed. But people in Canada, they're losing their homes. Wildfires they're out of control. It's just the sad truth, it's climate crisis, everything's so bloody dry and all it's like here. It's frightening, really. It doesn't take much. There in France, there's a whole load of rules to help mitigate wildfires, because we've had our fair share of them, small that they are, in comparison to what's going on in Canada and also in the United States. I believe that, was it Chicago that's got some problems at the moment? But you were there for them. The Canadians were there for the United States, US Americans, to deal with their wildfires. Like in California, for instance, in Los Angeles. Now, okay, California, I believe that they have been helping to some degree, but as a whole, all that's really going on with the United States in relationship to Canada is complaining about the smoke. It's like eating. It's like smoking 40 cigarettes a day or something. All this wildfire smoke, all the toxins. That's the thing I worry about. Is the toxins, because there's a fair share of toxins in wildfire smoke. Obviously, it's not just the trees that are burning. There's absolutely everything in between, isn't it? Habitats have been lost for wildlife. That's such a crying shame. It seems like every year there are wildfires that are getting out of hand now. Before they used to be sort of controlled to some degree, but it's too extensive now. It's just too dry. We've had a little bit of rain over the last couple of days here, but still, it's not enough. You dig down, well, it dries a bloody bone in that, So it's not going to take long for it to go crispy again. It's just, it's the state of things at the moment, whether it be the AMOC, it's just everything is run amok. It is, and the politicians aren't helping. When you got, there's 4 politicians in the US, Michigan, who have wrote to Mark Carney. Hello, sir, that's hope you well. And Grizzly, hello there. I'm mad about the states and Trump's reactions, but I'm not surprised. It's disgusting. People are suffering. They're losing their homes. Whole towns are just burnt to the ground. It's just devastation. And then, as I say, it's all the wildlife and the habitats, and it's just carbonated now. It's a crying shame. We're doing our little rewilding here and trying to do our little bit regarding planting trees and making little habitats and stuff. But it's nowhere near enough to make a big difference. I just hope to inspire people to make a difference, to do a little bit. Because together we are obviously much larger, aren't we, as a mass? But unfortunately, there's a whole lot of people out there who are bloody stupid. Now, Doug Ford has appealed. I'm no fan of Doug Ford, but he has been appealing for help. But he is part of the problem. So put sound up.
So, a good neighbor is, 2 governors I talked to. Governor Healy from Massachusetts called up to see what they can help out on, what they can send. I asked for water bombers. I don't think they have the water bombers available. I asked for firefighters, anything that they can send. Had a really good couple conversations with Governor Walz. As for other elected officials in the U.S., I have to remind the American people, when there was wildfires in California, we had our water bombers on standby. The only reason we couldn't send them because they didn't have the water to get the water bombers filled up. When the hurricanes happened, I think it was last year, down in Georgia, North Carolina, we sent our linemen down there to reconnect. We sent resources. We sent everything. So, a good neighbor, and I truly believe the Americans are good neighbors. If there's some politicians out there chirping away, well, maybe what you should do rather than complain is send support, send help, because we have done the exact same thing for our American friends, and that's what you're supposed to do. Well, 2 governors I talked to.
It's supposed to be a good neighbour. But I have to remind you that Doug Ford removed 42 million from wildland firefighting budgets and stuff. 42 million. That's quite a lot of money. That would have made a difference. Who knows? Because this, environmental effect, climate change has been pretty extreme, hasn't it? I know that we've been planting trees there and struggling to keep them alive. These are ones we planted last year. We've been out there watering them with watering gas and stuff, and it's an ongoing battle, because as soon as you put the water down there, it just leaches into the softer ground around the trees. Everywhere else just runs off the top because it's like rock. And look, it's so hard. But when you got like Bernie Marina, wants to sanction the United States and introduce a bill. They're going to introduce a bill to sanction the not sanction the United States, US sanctions on Canada. And then there's Bill Huizenga, Michigan, he did the same. Tom Barrett, delay the Gordie Howe Bridge. What do you think? The smoke that's coming down the bridge is that, it's got navigation. Good idea. And then you got Lisa McLean in Michigan, the same old crowd again. But also, they said something that's very telling of the current administration's mentality. They said that sovereignty comes with responsibility. Yeah. So that's like, we're going to take your sovereignty if you don't deal with this. It's just mind-numbing, It's unbelievable, really, how arrogant and bloody-minded these people are. Yeah, I know it's not all people in the US. Some people might think it is, but it's not. A lot of it is the fact that they're not getting fed the information. And you have to do your own. You've got to seek out your own news these days. Whatever getting chucked in front of your faces a lot of the time is just right-wing propaganda, pushed by the government, since they've got hold of all the media and the social media. But, they just want to silence the truth. And to be silent in regarding helping Canada deal with this. Canada, these Canadian firefighters, what have you, they need a hell of a lot of help. People are getting hurt, they're injured or killed, like that pilot. It's mind-numbing, isn't it, really? I just find it shocking. Now, living here in Europe, I'm sure that it would be different. We're not constantly attacking each other, as in, I say each other. It's more that Canada's getting attacked by the orange on the shits and pants, and it's unjustified. They're complaining about the smoke and what have you. Yeah, fucking hell, it must be horrible. Well, then help do something about it. Some of these wildfires, with extra help, could be put under control. Some of them are out of control. You need rain. Hello, James. Hope you're well. And Fisher Manjim, how is the immigration going for you? Oh, one of them is okay. Absolutely fine, thank you. I am an immigrant. Okay, just so you know, I am an immigrant. I live in France. It's not a huge issue. And not even in the United Kingdom is it a huge issue. It's a huge issue for those who've been told it's an issue. Because they're gullible fools, if you talk about Farage supporters. Just like feckin' Trump supporters. Gullible fools. Believe everything they've been told. Say things, they said this or they said that. Because they've said that they don't, and they're not lying, or this is the truth. They believe them. It's like, it's sycophantical, it really is. So, no problem at all with immigration here. Yeah, there are, I suppose, there's problems that could get so mad illegal be on the continent, for Christ's sake. But they're toughening up on it big time. And with a lot of the digital systems that are coming into place in Europe, it's going to be very hard to break the rules. As a Canadian, you are welcome to try and come and take it. The resistance would be a lot like Canadians in the trenches in World War One. Well, that's the same lot of things, isn't it? I think what went with the WMDs and what have you. You know, I think did the Canadians say no to that because they didn't believe it? But Ukraine was there helping and that, you know, and they get a lot of stick and aggravation. They're not a trustworthy government, are they? The current White House. I've been to Leon. My daughter lived there for about a year with a partner. I got Leon, but I'm not Leon being north from here. I'm in sort of southwest, south central. So it's very rural, very rural. I'm in the countryside. We do have a little local town, but it's tiny, you know. In France, you see, every town right has. They have a butcher's, a baker's, a post office. Often you're going to have some kind of supermarket. Obviously, the mairie, the council office, what have you. And then there are some little smaller industries as well, like, you know, like cafes and stuff like that. It's. But the fact that you got that in every single village, because the rules in France are there to protect these businesses. They are still struggling, mind, but they are there to protect these businesses. Like, for instance, you won't find a pharmacy in a supermarket. You know, you can't buy painkillers in a supermarket like you can in the UK. I don't know about the US, probably, but you have to go to a pharmacy to buy anything like that. They have no idea about Canadian resilience. Well, elbows up and all that, you know. Like your boycotts and stuff. That's been pretty resilient. I'd like to see it go a bit further. I'd like to see it build a fucking Great Wall. You know? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe a moat. You know, like these fucking right-wing, well, these so-called billionaires building all these bunkers all over the place with moats around them, for fuck's sake. It's just crazy. Yeah, a wall of smoke. Yes. That's what you need. Oh, you got that already, didn't you? Now, we are near Limoges. And I'm in 87 there, where we are. Oh, I see. Yeah, they usually show up late, the Americans, as in US Americans. So it bugs me a little bit regarding the continent and stuff, because, you know, Canadians Americans as well. Sorry about that, Canadian friends, but, you know, as far as the continent's concerned, it's well, North America, isn't it? But, you think about it, well, do you know what really bugs me about the United States citizens? Whenever I say anything about what's going on and regarding the US and Trump and stuff like that, they always want to throw in World War II, all right? And about how we saved the day we did, you know, we won the war. You just held the last baton, that's all you did. But anyway, we won the war. But when it comes down to it, they seem to forget that if it wasn't for the French, you wouldn't have... In the United States, you wouldn't have had your independence. You needed the French support to do that, and French money. You know. Otherwise, you know, it would never have happened. I am a North American then. Hello, with a keep up, you will. Serve to this USA. Oh, you live in the Pyrenees. Yeah, I lived in France as Saint-Savin. What? Okay, I can't read that. Sorry, because my shirt. In the Pyrenees. Oh, Pyrenees, beautiful. I rode over the Pyrenees with my push bike. Yeah, when I biked from Bellac near Limoges to Barcelona. Funny thing about Pyrenees, to me, it looks like one side is a bit arid, the Spanish side, and the other side, it's like there's a line drawn down the middle, a bit like that Canadian border, you know, and the other side's all green and lovely. You know, in France, all green and lovely, in Spain's all arid. But, you know, it is shocking, isn't it, really, how arrogant you'd have to be to, you know, to even talk like this. You know, even is this what Americans are saying? You know, US Americans, is that what they're saying? Or is it just the idiots in charge? You know, they're complaining because their kids are having to end up in hospital and stuff because of inhaling this toxic smoke. And oh, yeah. I don't know if this is true actually, but I was told in the a comment on one of my videos. Yeah, I think it was that video done about Canada and the wildfires. I think it was. It was that one. Anyway, someone's talked about they use glyphosate in the US as well as in Canada, and they spray the trees with glyphosate. Now the trees are established. The glyphosate ain't gonna hurt them. You need a hell of a lot to kill the trees, but it knocks all the ground vegetation and stuff because they want the conifers, you know, or the coniferous plant trees to get more established and grow bigger now without any ground cover. Sounds a bit stupid to me. You see, when you've got ground cover, it retains water, you know? It's like mulching the surface, provided they get too dry. I suppose you could add breaks. Those breaks would have to be huge, wouldn't they? In between the trees. You know, where you basically flatten a whole load of trees in that like breaks, just so if it does catch a light, it'll stop as the tree come down. It can't reach the break. Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to control the fire. It slows it down, that's all. But there's, you know, we've got to remember though the size of these Canadian forests. You know, they're unmanageable because they're sheer size. How are you going to go sweep all in between all the trees? You got to rake up, like Trump said, you know, like all clean. He thinks it's a golf course, doesn't he? That's what he does. He thinks it's a golf course on the freeway and all that. You know, but it's I just find the whole thing. It's very frustrating. It's almost as frustrating. It's very frustrating regarding other things as well. I suppose, like things, your food, it was bad in the first place, and now it's getting even not in Canada necessarily. But like Cadbury's and even Lindt chocolate, they're all looking at. They're investing huge amounts of money into basically growing cacao in undercover, really, yeah, genetically modified and all that. I don't know how that would work in Europe because I believe it's banned in Europe, genetically modified food. But anyway, they want to grow all this stuff in undercover. So, not in the countries where you generally get your cacao from. So your chocolate's not going to be real. It ain't that real now because they've added so much bloody palm oil and other emulsifiers and stuff. It's very little chocolate in it. Cadbury's, for instance, hardly any chocolate in there. It's about 10% cocoa. It's a tiny amount. 10-20%. It's really, really low. I don't think in France, for instance, you'd be able to call that chocolate anymore. Yeah, there are rules, you see. And I suppose everything's fucking broken, isn't it? You know, like what's going on in Iran. And then Trump's speech yesterday, which was just, what the fuck was that about? Going on about election fraud. And I downloaded a couple of the files off the website, the White House website, and loads of it's fucking redacted again. I had pages and pages was redacted. What the fuck? So that wasn't very helpful at all. And some of it you come across would actually say the opposite of what Trump is saying. You know, it's like Trump has been helped, not Biden. Now, Iran has been trying some new missiles they have. Yeah. They've adapted some of their missiles and they've attached flares. Not trousers type flares, all right, not them, no. They're not going to be doing any bloody Saturday Night Fever or anything, but no, flares, okay, they're and intense heat and all that. To, deflect the Patriot missiles. So they've managed to find a way to put these flares on these missiles, and apparently it's been working. And it's caused the UAE a hell of a lot of big problems. You know, they've lost around 100 million in defence equipment because of it. So, say to be. Funny how the US citizens were late on caring about the tariffs on Canada, on our resistance on alcohol, until now when they are begging for it to be put on the shelves. Well, they're trying to dictate, aren't they? You know, you got Pete Oakes, he keep going on about it. He's trying to dictate about it like it's been banned by the government. But, you know, it's more of a local thing, isn't it, you know? And also, many of the Canadian people won't buy it because what it stands for. You know? And can you blame them? I don't. You know? I don't buy anything American as best that I can here. Okay, there's some services I'm using. I'm on YouTube at the moment, aren't I? You know, if there was an alternative, I certainly would be using it, but there isn't there. Can't use, what's it called again? I forgot what it's called because I can't get on there. No, you can use a VPN, but, you know, some places are going to be banning VPNs very soon, so that's going to cause a hell of a lot of vegan issues. Now, especially in the UK, that is looking quite a possibility that they will get rid of VPNs. Which means that they end up with massive fines if they operate in the UK. Now, I can't remember the gist of it now. What was it now? RFK, was it? He was saying. I'll come back to that in a minute. That'll come to me in a minute. So anyway, Yemen is now warning Iran. Russia's got serious fuel issues for which people can't, they just can't fill their cars up to get to work or what have you. Because Russia hasn't got the means to process their oil. Because of Ukraine's successes. Everything's changed, isn't it? We don't fight wars the same anymore. You're all going to have high testosterone, according to Pete Kegsbreath, and you mustn't have a beard. Now, if I remember rightly, when I had my very first Action Man doll, it was a Navy one, all right, as in a sailor he was, yeah, and he had a beard. Yeah, so my first Action Man had a beard, because my dad was a boating man, you see. So if you're going to have an Action Man, you're going to have a sailor. Look gay. Look really gay. With his, well-trimmed, stuck-on beard. Although, I was the only person with a sailor, so that was quite good, I suppose. Then I got a submarine. That's a funny little thing, that was. It was quite big, actually. It was a submarine. You put your Action Man in it, all right? And you have this tube come up top, and you got like a pump thing, and you have to put the thing on one side to put air into it so it raises, and then on the other side take air out, and so it sinks. One day I was down River Green with my mother. Anyway, we had it in the river, and the pipe came off, so it was sinking to the bottom of the river. And my mother, she God, give her a do. She got that really quickly. She went straight in and grabbed it and pulled it out. You know, before it sunk to the bottom. So yeah, I've never seen my mum move so fast for my submarine. Over the days, anyway. I was obviously only small. Yes, I think it was about 10 years ago. No. Oh dear me! This gets from bad to worse, doesn't it? It really does. No. Oh, I've been having loads of bloody issues as well. Again, it just seems like everything's been thrown at me at the moment. I think just the fact that on being on YouTube and you're just trying to screw you over. That's what it feels like. I had an issue with my GoFundMe for my rewilding project we're doing here, so I'll have to set up something different now. Basically, people just donate a little bit of money and we plant a tree on for them with a sign and stuff here on our land. And we just also got an email from GoFundMe, and due to payment issues, not me paying them, but to connection to the payment service to pay me. When we get a donation, to get paid to our account. A separate account for it, you see. And they said there's a problem there. And I could work out what the problem is. They had no chance to change anything. They just deleted our fundraisers. So that was very frustrating. Yeah, that was very annoying. But yeah, we'll do it differently. That's what we'll do. So it's just dump and his guess what? Pump and dump like he's doing with his crypto. Ukraine just made a medal for Canadians. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It's like Keir Starmer just got a medal from Macron. He got the Legion of Honor, which is like the highest medal you can get. And to be fair to Keir Starmer, because he originated the coalition of the willing and all that, and got involved with Macron and got other people involved as well within the coalition of the willing for Ukraine. So that was very good indeed. Obviously, it really has helped Ukraine big time, which helps everybody. You have to stand up to the aggressor. One day the aggressor will be aggressing you. Oh, evil bastards. Joel, I hope you're well, my friend. Now, I might be doing... Oh, crikey. How is Count Binface doing? He's doing brilliantly. There's actually people in Clacton can't make their mind up who they want to vote for. Oh, anyway. I'm considering doing my... Joel, no, but I used to do lives on a Sunday evening. And... my time, it'd be about 8 or 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock my time it was. So it's 8 o'clock UK time. I don't know whether it'd be in Canada or the US. But I might be doing my... if I can sort my machine out, which I'm going to see if I can sort it out tomorrow, my computer, and set it up again for doing lives via the computer, so we can bring files in and stuff like that, And I used to it that way, but when I got fibromyalgia and it was getting worse, I was struggling to keep going. So I found I didn't have the energy, but I think I could manage it now. I think I could organise myself. I got used to it, so to speak. So I'll probably be doing the horizontal lives a sunny evening at 8 o'clock to 21. Oh, cool. Oh, cheers, Joe. Yeah, so Joe saw what he's saying. He did mods for the Sunday evening. So that'll be a fixed time, generally a fixed time on a Sunday every week. Like I used to, but that'll be horizontal format, not this vertical format. The vertical format seems to work well if you're doing these sort of like random lives. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get hardly anybody. Thanks, Joe. Hello, Chrome Dome. Well, friend. 34 candidates. Crikey. 34 candidates for what? What? In Clacton? Yeah, it's all pump and dump with him, isn't it? It really is. They both bomb civilians. Oh, you mean Iran, Ukraine, and the US, or the US behaves? Oh, I see now. Like they're Russians. Yeah, they both bomb civilians, like the children in that school, and then that hospital. You know, what the heck? But there's some good news. I got the gist of it earlier that Netanyahu was voted against. It looks like there might have been an election in Israel in October. And the likelihood is he's going to get voted out. There's a lot of opposition to him. So hopefully he gets voted out. We'll see. Depends who replaces him, doesn't it? Might be worse. So I keep showing my chest. It's so bloody hot though. I just... if I could be naked, I would. But not on air though. We don't need no medal to help friends, but thanks. Yeah, but it's not why Keir Starmer did it, is it? You know, but also in Canada, those new medals. I think what it is it's acknowledgement, isn't it? You know, it's about respect. The lack of respect that you're getting from many in the United States. I'm not going to say it's everybody because that wouldn't be fair because it's not true. But there is a huge amount of people that are listening to what they're fecking the Fox News and shit like that, and they lap it up, don't they? They listen to this stuff and they lap it up, and it's just like they think it's real, you know. I was watching Fox News earlier today, and I thought, what the fuck is this about? You know, you got yesterday you had the orange one shits and pants, and he was standing up there making this fucking speech and what have you. Well, his guy who was the one who was doing all the investigation regarding election fraud said there was no election fraud. And then there's Trump standing up there saying there is. It's like everything's been manipulated to fit his agenda. Yeah, I read that the Trump regime is trying to have the left disbanded. They're trying to label the left as terrorists, as radical, and which obviously is not true. He's trying to push that narrative, and he'll use that as a way of getting rid of the midterms. Or if the vote comes through and it's not in his favour, he'll deny the vote. You know, what if he's doing all this bunker shit, you know? And helicopter pads and stuff. And drone protections. You know, that's not to fight, defend against terrorists, it's to defend against the people. Why else would you need, why would you need drones around the fucking White House? Yeah. We need more Montreal's for so trolling. I haven't been ever since I lost my dog and that. I lost my mojo. Yeah, it took me what 3 or 4 days to make that with the editing and stuff. It might not look like it, but it did. You know, and come up with the ideas and stuff. Oh, yeah, that in, you know what I mean? It's just basically me going around dressed like a fucking idiot with a plastic container on my head with like some sort of filter on it and big goggly eyes and stuff. This was doing COVID, this was, you know, and taking the piss out of Trump and his scarf and the bleach. We are commies. It's like it's just communism and bloody socialism. It's like they're trying to bundle it into one thing when it's not. It's just nuts. But people don't know, do they? Now I was oh god, who was that? There's a bloke. Oh, let's see if I can find it. It's in my what do you call it? Tagged ones, pinned videos. There was a bloke talking about the truth about the education system, and to me, this rung true in many ways, and about how it's more about control of us as we, instead of actually giving us the tools to survive, it's more about giving us the brainwashing us really into being controlled. And it was quite interesting. Isn't harebrained kind of shit, you know what I mean?
So let me get this straight. We send our children, the most precious thing we have in life, to spend 15 years of their lives inside an institution. Sitting at a desk all day, under artificial light, eating processed food in a cafeteria, while they're taught to memorize useless facts, and punished if they think differently instead of asking questions. Where's the class on nutrition, on stress management, on financial education? When do they teach us about taxes or our rights as citizens? Never. We're not educated to think. We're trained to obey. And that's why you have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom, stand in line, and above all, never question the rules. Doesn't that sound strangely familiar? It sounds a lot like another place where people spend all day inside a building. They are told when they can eat, when they can go outside, and they're punished for questioning the authority, A prison. The truth is that the education system...
A prison. Also, communism. Hitler's Youth and all that. Or will it be fascism? We call a dumb bunker. What? Well, things are looking up now, that. We know he's building a bunker and people laugh. Yeah, he's building a bunker, most definitely. He's pretty much said he's building a bunker. Lawrence Fox, oh my God, yeah, I know. But has he got his nominations? Oh, he's backing Count Binface because he was going to stand. Lawrence Fox was going to stand, but he might not have got the back because you've got to have a certain amount of votes, haven't you? Or a certain amount of people support you, nominate you before you can be. Count Binface is going to have no trouble. It's just if it's Nigel Farage or Count Binface, you're going to vote Count Binface, aren't you? Count Binface actually said in an interview, says, why should the people vote for you? And he says, I'm not Nigel Farage. And it's silence. And then just everyone just cracked up in the audience. That's all he said. I'm not Nigel Farage in his usual comic way. There's always hope. I hope there is. I do. When a man in a costume makes more sense than most of the politicians in Westminster, something is wrong in the United Kingdom. I know, but it's hilarious. I love that sort of shit. I really do. This is all like Monty Python crap, isn't it? It's just, I just love it. Stupid rhyme one-liners drive me nuts. Kids eat fresh meals here. Same in France, actually, to be fair. They actually cook the meals. And also a lot of stuff comes from... There's a farm here called the Carrot and Ann. As in donkey and carrot. And they supply a lot of the food and that for the local school. When we were looking at places to buy here, and we went past in Ladora. We walked past the school in Ladora, and you could see the kitchens All the windows are open, not open, but you can see straight through the windows. This is a school. There's salmon or derby. There's all this shit there. I thought, fucking how's that when they get fed in school? You know? Made me hungry. I want to go back to school. The only thing I would say is it's not very helpful if you're a vegetarian in France. It's quite difficult, especially in schools. So what they do is they say, "Oh, you're vegetarian. Oh, we'll take that off then. If you're getting to replace it with it, I'll take it off then." Discussing politics with a MAGA is the same as discussing rocket science with a gorilla. And I think a gorilla would be able to understand the concept. Yes, unlike these fucking MAGA type people. Or like these Farage sycophants. Fucking hell. It's in France, closes for 2 hours. So they also have a goûter as well, just a small treat in the afternoon. Yeah, France closes for 2 hours for lunch. Generally speaking, yeah, not everywhere now. Some places are only an hour, but generally it's 2 hours. And it depends where you are, but they do work later. So most places are open until 7. Whereas in the UK, generally stores are 5:30, 6 o'clock, But it's my life, They're quite strict. The schooling's quite strict. Parenting is quite strict here. A lot of emphasis is put onto the parents to control their children. If they're misbehaving at school, well then basically the parents get reprimanded. Yeah, in France it's 35. The maximum amount of hours you're allowed to work is 35, unless you're self-employed, of course. No, they have not got a GoFundMe bag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time on my website and sort out some sort of like donation page on the website. So I'm probably going to do it on there and just cut all these fucking systems. I was telling the missus really, why was I using GoFundMe anyway? I don't need to. I've already got Stripe accounts, got Payoneer account, regarding payment processing. And then PayPal if people want to. I know it's not great, but yeah. I've only got to create some payments donation system on my website, so I'll see what I can do about that. And if people want to make donations, just go to the website and do it that way. The other thing about GoFundMe, I don't always get notifications. You see, when people make a donation, I have to go on there and check, and it's a bit frustrating. I don't know why that is. Because obviously people would like to know that, would like some acknowledgement for their donation, which is a bit frustrating. So no, I haven't got it back, unfortunately. That's a real good point. That is, but that's we were going about a comedian. This Ben Face is actually a comedian. He used to do stand up and stuff like that. You see, but anyway, he's There's another comedian who's now president of a country, as in Zelensky fighting an invader. I get it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Hello, Billy. I hope you're well, my friend. Evening, boy. Evening to you too, my friend. I hope you're well. 8-hour day, yet 2-hour lunch, 4-day work week. Yeah. A lot of people, if you work Saturday, don't work Monday. And it really depends. If you're self-employed, people just can't work Monday, The farmers around here are pretty fucking busy all the time. Yeah, that's where it's Sigma 9. That's where Camping Face is from, all the way from Sigma 9 he is. But this applies to all the doctors, the nurses, and that as well. So, you know, in the UK, some of these doctors and nurses are doing 60, 70 hours. You know, it's not conducive to being a bright spark at work, is it? You know, you're going to be tired, you're going to be worn out, it'll catch up on you. Somebody gets hurt, you know, mistakes get made. Hello, Jason, nice to see you here. Yeah. We've been talking about the Canadian wildfires and stuff like that. You know, it's sort of like I've digressed a little bit, to say the least. But it's well, it's just shameful the way the way the US has been behaving towards. It's just like one attack after another, isn't it? You know, against Canada. And why would you? You know, what's Canada done to the United States to deserve all this? You know. Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, I'll just show you something. Okay. Right. Ta-da! That's one of the files. Yeah, apparently that's evidence. Yeah. They do like to redact stuff, don't they? You know, regarding the election interference. And I haven't had a chance to check this because I just saw this before I came live. Like
Want to know what? Benjamin Netanyahu's government has officially collapsed, and the vote was unanimous to dissolve the Knesset, meaning there will be elections for a new prime minister in Israel in October. And if elections are held today, Benjamin Netanyahu is fucked. He does not have a majority, and nobody wants to help him out. You guys remember that video of all those lawmakers yelling at him, telling him to leave? He has been doing everything, all of this war, to stay in power because being in power gives him special privileges. In addition to this news, any new policies or laws that Netanyahu wants to push are significantly harder because he no longer has a government. He doesn't have the majority. So, bad day for Netanyahu, a good day for us. Benjamin Netanyahu's government.
Well, so I haven't managed to fact check that yet, but if that is the case, that'd be brilliant, you know. Depends on your placement, mind. That's not a document, it's a barcode. No. Very good. You know, but you know how bullies are in this area. They don't need a reason. Yeah, people don't. Yeah, a bully does not need a reason to be a bully, but they're also very easy to put in their place, aren't they? I used to get bullied at school, and I wasn't until I stood up for myself, and I pushed his head through. Well, I grabbed his arm, pulled it around his back, and pushed it into a Georgian wide window, and it sort of like smashed the glass. Obviously didn't go through because it's all Georgian wide. And yeah, that was I got told off to say the least. And my dad got a letter. Been fighting like it was my fault, you know. Bibby retired. Oh, it sounds like he's been retired. There again, he got cancer or something. He's very ill, isn't he? They do very little about their own fires. Leave Canada alone. Very true. No, they don't. They do a lot about their own fires. What they do is they release the whole fucking reservoir of water into the forest. That's what they do. And that, you know, Trump told them to. In California. Tariffs for the wildfires. Well, they want to sanction the US. So one senator, or one, I can't remember who it is now, senator or, let's find it. None of this helped though. When, you know, you got bloody Doug Ford removing $42 million from the budget for wildfires and that, management and that, and the firefighting. 42 million, that's a lot of money, isn't it, to remove. So Bernie Marina wants to introduce a bill to sanction Canada. Bill Huizenga, pretty much the same. Tom Barrett, they want to delay the Gordie Howe Bridge, stop the smoke. And it's all in Michigan. And Lisa McLean, same sort of shit as well. I can't remember which one it was now. In one of these letters to Mark Carney, they were basically threatening Canada. So that sovereignty comes with responsibility. If that ain't a fucking threat, I don't know what is. 830 wildfires, apparently in Ontario, Alberta. Ontario and Alberta. Yeah, so apparently, I think it was Toronto. Toronto's got the worst air quality in the world at the moment. Yeah, I think it's stating the fucking obvious, isn't it? And not a peep about the ones in Alberta. I did mention them in there about Alberta. No, not by the not by the US. No, it's terrible. Well, didn't they? Their national oil reserves, didn't they release a shitload of oil out there to try and get the prices down? And that's running on dregs. It's so foolish. Yeah. It's all instead of actually what's for the greater good. It's all about politics, isn't it? It's all about perception. It's all about how the government's being perceived, where to try and cover up their feckin' mess, and they just basically create an even bigger mess. It's madness, really, isn't it? I wonder where they'll look trying to get top up. Canada, maybe. Well. I keep going on about the UK, you got to drill that oil, get rid of the windmills and drill more oil. There isn't as much oil up there as they try to make out. It's not apparently not good quality stuff either. And the thing about the United Kingdom is it might have the oil in the North Sea. What it doesn't have is the means to process it, to refine it. So they have to ship it out anyway. It ends up to get sold on the world market. I wonder where the money went for the. Oh, that's a good point. It's like everything it just disappears and whittles away, doesn't it? Or it ends up in people's back pockets. It's a bit like how Trump works, though, isn't it? You've got his casinos. When he used to buy a casino, he used to charge the casino an administration fee at the time of purchase. And that fee used to be feckin' huge, millions, just for purchasing, for buying the bloody casino. And then he drives it into the feckin' ground, doesn't he? That was only his ex-wife who was the one who was basically keeping those feckin' things going. And then he built that mega casino, and a whole lot of them collapsed. It's like he flooded the market in the same bloody area, thinking that it's all gonna, there'll be enough footfall for all the casinos that he owned in that area, in Vegas and that. It's just madness. And as soon as you get a problem, like for instance economic downturn, all of a sudden you've got all these assets not making enough money to cover its costs, and it all turns to shit. Alberta has problems with water. They are building massive AI data centers and ramp up oil production, but they don't have enough water already. Oh, crikey. You see, the thing about water is, it's It's a finite resource. The water never leaves, you know. When you die, the water evaporates off your body, doesn't it? You know, you end up a crumbly mess. The only thing that's left is your hair and some wrinkly skin, all right, and a few bones. And no bones aren't made of fucking calcium. If you take all your calcium and drinking all your milk because you think it's going to make your bones strong, there's 12 main elements. I've digressed again, haven't I? There's 12 elements in bones, all right? Minerals. 12 minerals, sorry, in bones. Calcium is only one tiny part of it. There's potassium's all sorts of minerals in our bones. And there's about 64, 72, that's over 60 trace minerals as well. And most of these minerals that you need for your bones comes from seawater, is in seawater. So you're going to drink seawater. It won't do you a lot of good though, would it? No. And one of the problems with our food, you see, is that we don't have what we need in the food because it's been stripped out. Remind me to order some N95 masks. A very good idea. Very good idea. Get ones with little valves on so it's easy to breathe and they last a bit longer. The little negative pressure valves. Also, everything you breathe out, it has to go through the mask and it gets trapped in the mask. But if you've got the negative pressure valves, that does make them last only twice as long. We don't trust Americans either. Apparently, we're not Americans anymore. It's not everybody, is it? It's not everybody. I don't want to tarnish everybody with the same brush. I've come across some really nice people, you know, and they don't deserve to be tarnished. But we must acknowledge the fact there's a shitload of MAGA who are quite, and just some ordinary US citizens, you know, who are just horrible. There's plenty of them about, you know. Some, well, they're all immigrants, to be fair, aren't they? I hate fascists and authoritarians of all kinds. Yeah, me too, mate. Do you know, for me, I just want to be able to live my life. I want to have the least interference from government. I like doing what I do. Have you regarding this? You know, it'd be nice to earn, to earn a little bit more, but because I need the views, basically, but I don't get it. You know, I think we've got 47 people at the moment, which that's not too bad. But you know, I want a simple life. I just crave just to be left alone sometimes. You know, I like the quiet. I like to listen to a bit of music. I like to do my garden. I like to do in my workshop, making stuff out of wood and stuff. You know, earning a little bit of money that way. Whatever I can do to, you know, keep the ball from the door. Not failing miserably, mind, but you know, just, you know, we're fortunate that, I mean, I've said before many times that we have got a house and we don't have a mortgage. I have no debt, you know. So we got rid of it all basically when we sold the house in the UK and moved here. Because I don't want it. That's our way of pushing back really from the system, you know, become a little bit less reliant on it. And I'm a little bit reliant on the system now and regarding obviously YouTube and stuff, but it's definitely a nicer existence. You know, I have time to make my silly little areas, what have you, to make my videos and stuff. I'm also going to have a little area inside my chicken coop. I was going to go live in there today with our new chickens. We're getting another 6 next Friday, no, next Thursday. So there'll be 12. And looking at it now, I think we need a bigger coop. So we're going to create some chicken tunnels. So the chickens can leave the coop and then go through the tunnels through the garden and stuff. Because we can't have free ranging just yet. Especially with my dog. He needs a little tray. He must be indoors. He probably asleep. Yeah, get your N95 masks if you're in Canada or in the northeast US. Americans are desperately trying to find people willing to represent the people, not the money. Yes, that's their job. You know, that's a problem in politics now. It's all become lobbyists, aren't they? There's just too many bloody lobbyists and too much influence on the politicians. And they all have these great, wonderful ideas. They tell us all this great stuff, but as soon as they end up in power, they just lose that drive. It's almost like they've been bullied into having to basically toe the line. That's probably something to do with Israel. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Need to put the chickens a bit dark at the moment. That's because it's dark. But yeah, I will. But I'll make some videos in a chicken coop with the chickens. All right. Chirping away they'll be. They're getting bigger though. There was about 5 or 6 weeks when we got them, but they're definitely they're growing nicely, and they've got more feathers now. We either end this culture of greed, or we go extinct. Yes, because the current trajectory, we're literally going to destroy ourselves. You know, over dependence on shit that we don't need. Think that we've got to have absolutely everything. Shit we don't need. You know, it's crazy, really. It's crazy how stupid we are. We don't need AI. It's not needed. It's not. You know, it's just another way for these people to make more money. You can reach up here, go boy. You come up? Oh, come on, I'll grab you then. Oh, up you come, fella. Oh, he's my little nacho. Yeah. What, you want to play? What? You don't want to play? What? I think he's been asleep. He looks dopey. What? What? You look grumpy. You just woke up. Alright, that's it. I ain't gonna put you up here. Come up there. Walk up there? Or do you walk up there? Mm-hmm. You want to play, don't you? I think he's half asleep, but he wants to play. What? Oh. He is a lovely boy, though, aren't you? Ooh. What are you doing? What's he doing? Oh, now where you going? Oh, I don't know what he wants. He's no licking my feet. Lovely. Tickles. What's wrong with you? Do you think they've had something that you haven't had? Because they haven't. I haven't brought any treats out. I watched one of our chickens have a drink. They blow their noses when in my beer. I took a chair in there earlier, just getting used to us. You see, because we hadn't had them long. And we used to have chickens before. And I was sitting in this seat. I was one of them fold-out nylon camping chairs, yeah? And all I wanted to do is peck my ass. Come underneath the seat and peck my bum. Yeah, they need the AI to process all that data they stole. That's right, Mitch. It's crazy, but all these people don't need it. It's just being used to make them more money. We're not getting any richer, any better off for it. It's how things have gone backwards. Like, you used to be able to phone up and what have you and actually get someone to speak to. These days, you've got to do it all online, end up talking to some fake chatbot. You know? It's frustrating. And where there is call centres, they clearly are understaffed. For instance, I've been trying to contact Phoenix Life or Wealth, whatever it's called, about my pensions. Because what cash them in, they're only small anyway. But yeah, cash in our pensions. And when it come down to it, it took me 5 weeks I finally got through to them this morning. So, and so I've been doing like every other day, phoning them up. And it's just a nightmare. But now I've got to the next stage now, so they've got to send me a form and what are you? Crikey, the questions they ask. Have you had a financial advisor? Have you sought advice? That's a good point. If we don't stand up for ourselves, if we don't fight for what we believe in, what use are we? We are worthless. You know, you have to fight for yourself and your family and for what's right. You know, if these right-wing nut jobs out there who just hate everybody, well, then you've got to fight them all. You know? Unfortunately, with this AI and the surveillance and our mobile phones all being tracked and controlled by spyware, you know, that was Samsung and iPhone, Apple, were both being found to have spyware on the phones. No, you don't know this stuff, do you? When you buy this stuff, you spend all this bloody money, you don't know it's going to have spyware on it. So, how long has this been going on for? You know, Israel, for instance, owns a lot of these companies that develop this stuff. Very controlling. I'm half Norwegian, says Jason. I hope I make it to Viagra? Oh no, Valhalla. All right. Did you ask Kash Patel? He might send you. You remember that? When Kash Patel's going about Valhalla in that regarding who was it now? Oh, freaking Charlie Kirk. Let me come. At the point now, AI is about to do, we have the right to refuse it. I already know that folks don't want it. A right to refuse it, but do we really? We're surrounded by this fucking stuff. You know, you walk down the street, AI cameras, these flock cameras, for instance. You know, it's been used by policemen even, so they could track their girlfriends and stuff. You know? It depends who's in control of this shit, isn't it? Do we trust people who have these contracts that they have? You know, for instance, Palantir. Do we trust Palantir? No, of course we fucking don't. You know? We can't escape it. We all got to walk around with balaclavas, little face masks on to try and avoid it, but then we've got our mobile phones in our pockets. Have we got to put them in airplane mode as we're walking about and just, you know, turn them off, even, if that even makes any bloody difference? Or do you think they made it so the batteries aren't removable? Huh? That's my conspiracy theory for the day. It's probably because they don't want you to. You know? How many websites have you been on? Let's say, how many, like Facebook, for instance, is terrible for this, where you might uncheck something to say you don't want it, but when it comes down to, you go back in there 3 months later and you think everything's hunky-dory, and then you realise that it's been checked back again because you've done an update or something. Yeah, they have recently. Yeah, where was that? I was reading that. Oh God, I forgot the name of it now. Where was it? Oh, didn't they find some? Oh, as they found a cemetery. Is that right? I think they found a cemetery where they're going to build this. I can't remember where it was, but they found a cemetery where they're going to build a data center, and it was It wasn't any old cemetery. It was, it's a slave cemetery. Yep. Well, that's what he's been doing for deflection, hasn't he? Every day there's something new for us to be talking about other than the Epstein files. Now, not a word of a lie, I have several mobile phones. This one I'm recording with at the moment is my newest phone is a Huawei, and it's not Huawei, Xiaomi 14T Pro or something that's called, and that's been a really nice phone. That has. I trust that a Chinese phone more than I would an Apple any day. And then I got this one, which is my old OnePlus 7. I've also got an old OnePlus 6. Brilliant phones, really robust. And I've also got a Google Pixel 6 Pro. This is a hand-me-down from my son. And so is the Google Pixel. The Google Pixel is a good, capable phone, but the build quality is rubbish. The best build quality, I would say, is this old OnePlus. Solid there. But unfortunately, they're going to be removing themselves from the US, UK, and Europe. They're no longer going to be selling phones. They made an announcement a few days ago. They're still going to support the existing sold phones, but they're not going to be having any more. They're not going to sell anymore. They're going to concentrate in India and China. I actually don't have a cell phone. Don't blame you. Well, I do because of what I do, and I have all these different phones because I use them from videos. Plus, I've got my video camera. But the phones are really, really useful, especially this one. This one's really nice to use because it's got decent stabilization on it. So, yeah. And also it's 4K in this direction. Or not on live, obviously. My brother bought some sushi. It took him longer to read the ingredients than need to. Sushi, so if you learn how to make the rice, okay, with rice, wine, vinegar, and all that, if you learn to do that, yeah, making sushi is okay. Basic sushi, that is. I'm not talking. Don't eat raw fish, by the way. You get parasites. Get worms. Don't want that. Americans are finding out the hard way that cancelling protections that have been in place for decades to save a few bucks will be very costly. It's like what they did regarding recently with getting rid of all those, is it NOAA regarding all these sea sensors and stuff, for seismic activity and waves and God knows what else. They've backtracked on it now, though. So they ripped loads out and now they're saying we're going to carry on with it. So that's been stupid. It's like when they got rid of all those people, didn't they? Under Doge, that were responsible for moving nuclear missiles and nuclear materials and stuff across the fucking country. Just let's try and hire them back again. No, because of what I do, and I do a lot of research as well. I'm constantly making videos and shit. And I couldn't manage with one phone because the battery wouldn't last long enough. You can't really record while you're charging a phone because it just can cause interference. And I've been using the phone a bit more recently because I've been having microphone issues again. I recorded a video with the missus. Actually, we've done 2 walk videos, and neither of them, I think the audio was working. The microphone was on. I tested before we left, but they didn't record the audio, which is very annoying when that happens. I avoid raw fish as well. Yeah, I will eat smoked salmon and stuff like that though. Not much is gonna survive being smoked. Yeah, if some of the food that they got in the US, that's not edible. You might think it is. Oh, that tastes all right. It's like ice cream. There's a lot of going on about in the US regarding ice cream. It doesn't melt like would they like bleed a bit melting, but then you get left with this blob. This like blancmange. You know, it's a lot of the ice cream, especially if it's in biscuits and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, obviously in the freezer. It's oh crikey, it's like it's byproduct from the cheese manufacturing. Yeah, producing cheese and what have you. It's like all the dregs, and they use that. I don't know how they do because I haven't really looked into it. But anyway, they use it. They use this cheese stuff for ice cream. Yeah, we make our own ice cream as well. One of my favourite ice creams is wild blackberry. Oh, wow, really good. Ice cream. We make a lot of our own food here because I grow a lot of food. Tomatoes and all the usual kind of stuff. And obviously aubergines and peppers. Whole load of squashes. And now we've got the chickens. The squashes are proven to be very useful, especially when you get the overgrown courgette. Oh, you right there? An overgrown courgette, and then we just cut it in half, and the chickens go mad over it. They love it. They love it. They're pecking at the seeds. They're getting their moisture in this dry climate. So, yeah. American food is basically toxic. You got to ask yourself who owns all these companies, Canada is one of the better countries. If you look at it, a lot of the additives are natural, very similar to here in France and in Europe in general. And there's more natural additives instead of all the chemicals, factory produced stuff. You do have to ask yourself, why do you need colourings anyway? It's just like if you grow your own, anyone who grows their tomatoes will know exactly what I'm talking about. When you eat a tomato, fresh off the vine, and the skins are just the right thickness, it's juicy, it's tasty, got right acidity, it's bliss. It is seriously, it's bliss. I'm doing for instance, I'm growing which I have this year. Crimea Noir, like black tomatoes. They're not really black, they're just like a dark red, really. They're a bit like a marmande, like a beefsteak tomato. But the flesh is really dense. I slice it up, I put a little bit of salt on it, and just eat that between two bits of bread. Oh, it's to die for. I mean, the flavour is so intense, They're running off. It's the thing when you grow your own food, it won't be the lettuce and all that stuff. It's a bit hard at the moment because it's too hot now for lettuce. There's bolt on it. But it's just nice just to have that food there that you've grown, you put your effort into it, and it tastes so bloody good. We're doing a load of yellow tomatoes and that as well this year, which tend to be a little bit sweeter, less acidic. They all have their uses. Yeah, with the keep it is it's just on another level, isn't it? I think unless you actually grow your own food, people won't necessarily fully appreciate how much better it is. It's not just about cost, although it definitely saves money. If you're not buying loads of stupid stuff, you don't get drawn into buy. You got to buy this and buy that for to grow food. Think about how you can do it without buying stuff. You know, just if you've got to buy your seed, buy your seed. You don't even need compost. You know, you can use soil. You know, you will pick up a few weeds probably, but you know, you can use soil, especially with the bigger seeds, because it's pretty obvious which is the one that you want to keep. And once you pick them out once, you probably won't get much more trouble. A lot of this compost you buy in bags, it won't even germinate your seeds anyway. It's so crap. Oh, you pressure canner? I've got a pressure canner, but we only use that if we're going to be doing things like squashes and stuff like that, because they don't water bath very well. You need the pressure canner for that. But if you've got high acidity foods, it's not an issue. That's a good idea with the keeper. I get a lot of food for free in exchange for doing things like farm sitting. That's a really good idea. You've got watermelons as well. The watermelons need a fairly good season, hot season. But butternut squash are quite easy. But they do need quite a bit of feed, you know, emulsion. Put some like loose grass underneath, underneath the, I'll say loose grass, mulch. Keep off the ground basically, if you can. And check out some videos on pruning, because you don't want to be just creating loads of leaf. You want you want to be growing bigger fruits, don't you? Bigger butternut squashes. Can soups and leftovers with a pressure canner. Yeah, can is great. You know, and we've still got loads of stuff left over from last year. You know, ratatouilles and tomatoes and stuff. Oh, you get off your flowers now. That's cool. You might have to, if you got many bees, if you ain't got many bees and what have you, you might have to pollinate them. You know, take the male flower and get all jiggy with the female flower. You might have to trim the flowers back though to get it in. It sounds bad, doesn't it? I got to trim it in. Yeah, we do that as well. Something about mozzarella cheese, what are you? Courgette flowers, lovely. Stuff them with cheese. Well, middle of the woods, tired of being forced to live in the city. Oh, Joe's saying you want to move back into the woods. One of these wildfires, mate. Tired of being forced to live in the city. At least I have the woods and the beach to cool off. I am 15 minutes walk from the beach. That's nice. Hello, Stephen. What's wrong with you Europeans? Don't you want to go shopping? Excitement of a diarrhea roulette with your lettuces. You make your best guess of what produce could be contaminated and go from there. I heard that Taco Bell might be involved. Fucking hell, what about Demolition Man? You know? Taco Bell's all they had, you know? Fucking hell. I have a bad case of ADHD and would love it if you did stuff like carpentry or something. I have got a woodworking channel. I haven't been uploading much on there, but if you want to check it out, it's Wally Bois Woodworking. And I'll put loads of tips and stuff on there. I've also got my Frogget channel as well, which I've been putting some just silent videos on there. You know, ASMR type stuff. Wally Bois, spelled Walllybois, woodworking. Wally was my dog that I lost. Bois is wood. So in France. Taco Bell doesn't get any breaks. Cyclospore has been spread by humans who have no access to portable toilets in the field. They have been forced to go number 2 in the ditches. What? You get your dog leaves out and wipe your... Oh, crikey. You're burning ring of fire. Rights for fruit pickers. You need a toilet. There we go. Shredded lettuce from Taco Bell. That came from Mexico. I didn't know that. Oh, I know something about Taco Bell, but I wasn't quite certain. Oh, come down here. Got been bit on my leg. A mosquito, probably. Pesky thing. It's probably one of them tiger mosquitoes. It's scary running the ground fires. That's the thing about people don't say. I've witnessed that before when you had the ground fire. Now, where I used to run my business from was a big barn. Okay, it was a big thrashing barn, very beautiful old thing it was. And there was still farmland behind the barn, which was farmed. And when it was being harvested, the combine set alight to the field, with sparks and stuff hitting rocks, I imagine. And we got a ground fire. There was no vegetation on there. We had a few little stalks sticking up, and that's about it. But it was actually in the ground, and it was so dry, it was literally just moving along the ground itself. That was very concerning. Quite fast as well. Oh, thanks, Joe. Yeah, there's loads of them all over France at the moment. We've had literally about 10 kilometres just down the road here. There have been field fires and stuff, only small ones, about 4 acres that one was, so it was really small. But there have been much bigger ones as well. Comes up as 4 not found, really? That doesn't make any sense. I can't. I know it's there.
Meaning there will be elections for a new prime minister.
Let me just see if I can find it.
In Israel in October. And if elections are held today, Benjamin Netanyahu's.
Right, go back. And we're going to go on. Bear with me. I'm just switching the account. I'm just going to make sure it is there. Well, I've logged in. I got 65,000 subscribers on that channel, and 218. So it's that. That is my icon. That's Wally Bart Woodworking. Let's find the channel. Make sure the channel's still okay. No, not that. Go to channel. Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong blooming thing, aren't I? I'm on the studio and not on the. Not there. Done that. Goes. And there's on there. Food channel. No, it's definitely there. It's there. It's at. If you go into YouTube, it's at Wally Bois Woodworking, all lowercase. So it's the Arab at, the at symbol. Yeah, it is. It is there. Oh, it comes from the same source as E. coli. Oh, I didn't know that. If Trump gets it, that'd be a right old mess, wouldn't it? It'd be shit on top of shit. We do need salt in our diet, just so you know. But there's salt and there's salt. Yeah, most if you have table salt, most of the good stuff's all stripped out in it. But we do need salt in the diet. Added salt not necessarily but when you talk about these bloody processed foods, it's just horrendous. You know, it's not what we need. It just increases your blood pressure. That's the thing. If you do grow your own food, I know, you know, it's convenience because you got to do the work, obviously, but the convenience is that it's there. You know, you do tend to eat what you've got. So if you've got an abundance of courgettes, you get sick and tired of courgette recipes. I tell you what is quite nice with courgettes. If you coat the courgette with semolina flour and flour, cut thinly, and then fry it. They come out as crisps. Really nice. A bit of seasoning, obviously. Another thing that's quite nice is curly kale, coating a bit of olive oil, and then dehydrated. Really a bit of sea salt again. Sea salt, pepper, make a bit of garlic powder if you like, a bit of olive oil, and then put in it dehydrated, temperature around 50 degrees. And they come out as like crisps again, and they're really nice. Feed Trump some Taco Bell. Just how strong the golden diaper is. Oh, crikey. It's like... Well, that sounds nice. It is easy to cook. When you know the basics, you can pretty much make stuff out of anything, can't you? You know. Usually dehydrate and dry zucchini and grind it to add to bread flour. Is a good idea. It's a very lovely loaf. Oh, it's interesting. I'm making a lot of bread at the moment. And I've got my grandchildren coming in about a week's time. So I'll be making a hell of a lot of bread. So I've got my little, got Yaz, my daughter Yasmin coming with her four little children. So it's going to be a mad house here because they're crazy. And they don't mind being in the videos, and she don't mind being, having the kids in the videos. So that might be interesting. I didn't know that, but I never thought about that actually. To dehydrate and dry we've got a dehydrator. Got a big old metal one. Sushi and grind it to add it to the bread flour. I never thought of that because would you be reducing the I suppose it depends how much you're adding because you'd be reducing the gluten, wouldn't you?
Source European bestsellers with confidence. For just
it's just some playing to a bum idiot. Would it affect the gluten? But obviously, you said it makes lovely loaves, so I'm going to have to give it a go now. And I'm thinking about a lot of foods now. If you can dry them and then make powders, you can add it to things like soups and all sorts of stuff. You know? It doesn't always have to be in its full form. And that'll be getting all the nutrient value. And the thing when you're growing food yourself and you're using natural fertilizers and doing crop rotation stuff, you're gonna get more of what you actually need to survive. A lot of this food you buy, it's got nothing in it. You know, the amount of minerals. If you suffer with a lot of cramp and what have you, you probably ain't getting the minerals you need. You probably aren't getting the right salts. And there's dehydration as well. And the same with restless leg, what have you. That's could be an iron deficiency. Oh, you've got the Sorby sharpening machine, have you? Did you know what you talking about, Robert Sorby? As in the chisels. I didn't realise he made one. I have to look it up. Sorby sharpening machine. I've had all sorts of sharpening machines in the past. Big, flat whetstones and stuff like that. But I prefer to do it by hand, to be honest. So, rump cut the staff at the FDA. So there are less staff to do the work of tracing the source of the contact. Yeah, I saw that, and I heard that in the news about that. I'm getting a bit too comfortable now. Yeah, that was quite interesting. It's a bit and stupid. It's bloody foolish, isn't it? You know. Oh, I'm twisting up here. Yeah, it's fucking Trump though, isn't it? Yeah, and oh crikey, Elon Musk looks like he could end up in jail. He's going to be investigated, isn't he, for the 1 million bribes that he was handing out, which is a bit a bit crazy, wasn't it? Why he thought that was a okay thing to do, I don't know. There are options too. Yeah, it's even with things online, Joe, or whatever, you know. We need alternatives to all these US-based companies. We need an alternative for YouTube, you know, and it needs to be pushed. YouTube needs to be taxed. End of the day, YouTube's making a shitload of bloody money off the backs of Europeans and not paying the bloody taxes, you know. Spud nuts, like donuts made with potato starch or potato flour. Oh dear. Oh no, celiac. Oh, dear me, that must have pain in the arse for you. Not literally, but you know, that's really difficult to deal with. Getting I know there's gluten-free options out there, but like gluten-free bread's horrible. You know. What choice have you got though? What gets me is when this fucking gluten-free stuff is like twice the bloody price. It's like profiteering over people's bloody hardships, you know. Yeah, that's going to laugh with the kids there. Like it's so funny. Little Nina, she's a nutter. Oh, you know, crazy little girl. And then there's my Gracie. She's doing very well. She's got up to the next level at music classes for a violin, so she's doing really well. They all got their little quirks, haven't they? You know. Yasmin's youngest little boy, little Bushi, he's a Star Wars fan, which that suits me. I programmed him, you see. Oh yeah, there isn't it? The SWIFT system. It's already European. That is. They are creating in France. I know they've created some new payment systems. France has its own very blue seal. Oh my god! Hello. What are you coming up here for? Yeah, we want to see your bumhole. Now where are you going? Oh, giddy up! What are you doing? Pump, 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 pump. Anyway, I think I better. I've been live for 40 odd minutes. And I'm losing my voice. And I'm tired. And now I've got a dog sitting on me. He thinks I'm his chair. Are you comfy, boy? Are you comfy? Huh? He doesn't mind where he jumps, you know. He just lands on you. But he's lovely. Aren't you? You can smell. It's got the chickens on me, isn't it? He licked my trousers now. I was holding chickens earlier. Nacho, you're such a cat. You know. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you got that. All right. Look at this. Oh dear. You will have a nice weekend. I might go live again tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But hopefully I can get sorted out for this Sunday. If not, I'll start them every Sunday from next Sunday, so to speak. But yeah, hope you'll have a lovely weekend. Take care and be safe. Yeah, and don't breathe in that horrible orange smoke. All right. Where's my button? Oh, there it is. Toodaloo. I thought I pressed it and nothing happened. Blimey. Aha. Toodaloo. Is it on there again? It's gone loopy. It doesn't want to end. Okay. It doesn't want to end. I keep trying to end it. End. It's not working. Oh dear, the never-ending story. Okay, press the bloody button. No, it's broken. The app's broken. I might have to just cancel the app or something, see what happens then.